Yo.
Hello, how you doing?
Uh, Pretty good, man. How about yourself?
Yeah, I'm good, thanks. Pretty good, yeah. Pretty
All
good.
right. You ready for this?
Yes, yeah, yeah,
Let
yeah.
let's hop right into it. Okay. So I know when you filled out like the Fiverr delivery things, like one thing I asked for was like background in Apex, like some things you want to improve on. Basically, you're like, okay, like I want to improve like my duels, like the 1v1s, as well as like team fights, and then even knowing like, okay, like when is it a good idea to push? When is it a good idea to like chill out? And then you were also saying stuff like, okay, like I think what's also important is to understand why you lose most fights, or the fights that you do lose, like why are we losing them, and how can we change it for next time? Does that sound about right?
Yeah, that's pretty good. I feel like every fight take is gonna be a loss.
Yeah,
It
yeah,
is.
okay. Oh,
It's
no, 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 it's not good. Okay. All right. Awesome. So what I can do now is I'm so glad you sent this YouTube link. It's got 3 hours of gameplay. That's actually insane. Okay, so let me pull
yeah.
this up here.
I,
And
I mean,
then
I've got quite a few recent videos, so
oh,
I mean, this is
huge.
3 hours long, but hopefully
Oh,
it's
yeah,
good.
yeah. Yeah, yeah.
So
We,
I
we,
sent
we
it
should be
because
good.
it's got a bit of me just fighting other people one on one, and
Yeah,
then we
yeah,
just
yeah,
do
good.
quizzes.
Good, good, good. Okay, all right. So I started my screen share. Let me know if you are in it.
Yeah, all good. Yeah, I can
Okay,
see it.
awesome. And can you see me drawing on it? You see me drawing like this little smiley face dude?
Yes, I
Okay,
can.
all
Is
right.
there any way? Is there any way I can make this bigger? Let me just check.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Take your time. Can I full screen this? I can full screen this, and I can still draw on it. Okay, awesome. Perfect. All right, so while you figure that out, let me load this up.
Multiple ways. A way to minimize the things at the bottom. Okay, I'll just leave it.
Oh, no. Is there no way for you to like, I don't know, like maybe if you go over here, like this little icon right here, like this full screen one. Do you see this on yours?
Yeah. So full screen. I've just got at the bottom. I can just see myself, your
Oh, oh,
person.
oh, 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 our icons. I know what you're talking about. How do I hide chat? Like this, right? Like it shows both of
Yes,
us.
there you go.
It
Yeah.
There should be a way to like hide members. I guess if I hover over it, and then it can kind of, oh my god, streamception. Um
Oh, there we go. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay,
Yeah, that was
perfect.
the little arrow that
Sorry,
just
sorry,
showed.
sorry. Okay. All right. Awesome. Okay, you're in. I'm recording this. Okay, perfect. I have my notepad. All right. So it looks like we have some duels here first. What do we have? We have PK. We have Mozam. All right.
So
Insta ran up, which isn't bad. I don't know. Like this could be a little dangerous. Like just in terms of 1v1s as well as like BR fighting. I don't think you running up is bad, but the reason why I say that it could be bad is that if you have a PK, the enemy has a PK, and both of you guys spawn out as you're crossing here, right? And as you start to trek in this wide open range right here, if I'm the enemy, right? What I could do is I could just jiggle peek you. So I peek out for a second, I shoot you with the PK, and then I'm instantly back into cover. And then that
okay.
would put you already at like a maybe like a positional disadvantage, right? And I say positional because right, like if you were to get caught out, you would get caught out here in the open. And so
Yeah.
if you realize you're in trouble, you need to think about, well, what is my escape plan? And your one escape, or I guess your one of two escape plans would be, well, you could either run back to where you are and then you get shot in the back and then you take some more damage, or you sort of need to close the distance to play this piece of cover, and then you're like also close to the enemy, which might make it easier for the enemy to get the jump on you. And so I guess the big thing here, what I'm trying to say is like, before looking to close distance, whether it be 1v1s, whether it be in BR, it's usually most people will like to gain some sort of advantage before committing into the fight. So I have like a little notepad on my side over here. So I'll just write down before committing, look to gain some sort of advantage. And then I'll also write poke versus committing. Yeah. And so like another way you can think about this is you could think to yourself about, am I poking or am I committing? And so like, you know, if you ever watch like pro players or like tournaments, you know, like a lot of people have like repeaters or scouts or like any type of like long range, like poke weapon. If you watch people play ranked, like maybe they have an assault rifle or marksman or whatever as their poke weapon. And so usually, you know, that your poke weapon is like your mid long range weapon. And so for this instance, like you could use the choked up PK as your poke weapon, only if it's choked up, or you could even use your Mozam as your choked up, not your choked up weapon, but like your long range weapon. And it could actually like do some good damage from range as well. So, but ideally, what you want to look to do, as a general good rule of thumb, is you want to poke enough to get like a good damage advantage. And then once you realize you have that damage advantage, then you can look to commit and sort of like swing on the enemies. And that way, you know, you have an advantage. So you have a higher probability of winning that fight. So, okay. Just, you know, and like the quote unquote problem with this one just might be that you're looking to commit before like getting some sort of like advantage. And that might like at that point, it's kind of like a 50-50. Not saying that like you would lose it, but it's just, you know, more of like a coin toss rather than like, okay, like I'm playing to have the statistical advantage in my favor. And that would just be like you having more health.
I do lose it.
Don't worry. I do remember I like watched like, I don't know, like this one fight. And then I think maybe like one other one. I was like, okay, like what can I do? But it was just like this one. And I think the next one that I watched. And even when I was watching it during the first time, I didn't even realize that you just like ran like straight ahead here, right? Like as you're slide jumping here, like if this is me and you fighting, I'm going to be on this other side. I'm going to peek you to get some information. I'm going to see you're sliding towards me. I'm going to shoot you and then instantly go back into cover. And then since you're running out, you don't have your weapon out. You know, I have like, I'm ready to shoot you. You're not ready to shoot me. Right? Maybe I hit you for 100. Maybe I hit you for like 70. And then I would have the advantage, right? I would have that health advantage. And then I like maybe would climb on top of here and then just slide on you, right? That would be the committing. And that's because I poked you to get that damage advantage. And then I would slide on you. So that's the idea of like, oh, poking versus like committing, stuff like that. So you come over here, you shoot, that's good. And then yeah, right. He slides out. He has the PK, and then you instantly go down. I would say that like you probably want to continue using this PK too, rather than swapping to the Mozam. Like only for the fact that you have this piece of cover here, which you can use to jiggle peek in. If you think about like the kind of damage you could do, right? Like, oh, like he hit you for like, I don't know, like 110, you hit him for like 135. You do have a good advantage here. But now you need to think about it in the sense of like, what is the fastest way that I can kill him? And so, you know, you can 100% kill him with one more shot with the PK, right? As long as you hit like something like 70 plus, whatever, but you know that it is possible. I don't know. I really don't think you could, you know, like hit someone for 70 with the Mozam. Even if you hit all 3 pellets on them, like all headshots, like maybe you can. But that once again is a lot harder to do and is a lot less common. So when you swap over to the Mozam, even if you hit all your shots on him and you hit him one time, right? Like you still probably need to hit 2 shots on him versus the enemy. Right, that only now needs to hit 1 shot. And so just like in a timing manner thing, right? Like think about if you're fighting an exact mirror of yourself. Yeah, like more likely than not, the person that needs to shoot you 1 time would beat you than twice. I would say the only times where it would be appropriate to swap over to the Mozam like you do is if there is no piece of cover and you're sort of just like sliding in on the enemy. And the reason why you would swap to your Mozam is because that way you would be able to deal more damage faster, right? Like so, like maybe swapping to the Mozam is faster than your Peacekeeper, like rechambering into the next shot, right? Like rather than it doing like that, and I kind of missed it, but I'm not gonna rewind it again. You know, like it shoots and it pumps, and then you're ready to shoot again, right? Like the only reason why you would swap to your Mozam is because that might be faster than waiting for that swap to do. So it's not that swapping to your Mozam is like bad, but it's more dependent on the situation you're in. So it's by all means, yeah.
I can't tell you why I swapped.
No, it's completely fine. But and I'm not saying that it's a bad thing that you swapped either. It's just thinking about like the types of engagements that you're going to do. So if I were you, okay, let's think about it like this way. We have a PK, we have a Mozam, and let's for this sake, I'm gonna say your Mozam is your automatic weapon. I know it's like not really auto. It's kind of like semi-automatic, but I say auto so you can think about it in other aspects of like, oh, like maybe you have an SMG here or something. That way you can also apply this to like battle royale too, rather than just like gun specific, you know, whatever. And then you have your PK, which is I'll just put like a pump, right? Like okay, or even if you have like a sniper, right? Like a sentinel, like you shoot, you know, it's not like a pump, but like there is still that delay in between each shots. So knowing what type of weapon you have should influence the way that you're playing. And here, let me write this down. I'll say pump versus auto. I'll say influence way you play. Okay. So, if you ever use a PK or any type of like weapon that has that rechambering time, you always want to jiggle peek with it. And the reason is like you always on a nerdy level, like you kind of want to think about like what's the advantage and disadvantage to like every type of weapon I have. And for the Peacekeeper, right, like you could say, okay, like it can deal a lot of damage in a quick burst, but then I'm like rechambering to the next shot and I'm vulnerable there, right? Like I'm not outputting any damage. The enemy can essentially shoot me for free. And so knowing that, like we should think to ourselves, how can we get rid of our disadvantage? And if our disadvantage is just getting shot for free while we're rechambering, we can sort of like avoid that by just playing a piece of cover, which would be this rock here, or like this boulder, or whatever, this circle. That's right in front of us. On the other hand, if I have an auto weapon and I'm fighting someone that has a pump weapon, I know that their weakness is that they have to rechamber to the next shot. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure that they can't play cover, and I'm going to make sure that I sort of like chase them or commit to the fight so they cannot jiggle peek on me. So what that would look like in practice is let's say you do exactly what you do. You shoot one shot at the PK and then you swap to the Mozam. What you could do is you could climb on top of here like you do, shoot with the PK, and then once you hit a big shot, you could sort of like slide off on any side while you're swapping to the Mozam. And then that way you can continuously shoot him with the Mozam while the enemy still has his PK out. Meaning that like you can capitalize on him rechambering his shots while you are able to shoot him for free, right? So like maybe you get a half a second of free damage, maybe you get 1 full second of free damage, right? Like the more he shoots and stays with the PK, the more of an advantage you will slowly build to yourself. So that's how you could play it, right? Like, okay, well, I know I have a fully automatic weapon. I know he has a pump. I could climb up top, slide on him. And the reason why I'm doing this is because I'm sort of like exploiting his weapon's weakness, which is the fact that it's a pump weapon. Now I have a quote unquote, I just have a faster shooting weapon, so I can capitalize off that. If you were to stay with the PK, right, you would climb on top of here, fall down, wait for your weapon to rechamber, and then just jiggle peek him on any side again. And then that's what that would look like on a more practical level.
Okay.
Yep.
Wow. Yeah, I just left cover totally, didn't I? Look at that. Yeah.
So I said, wow. But even then, right? Like if I look at this, he's able to kill you in 2 shots, right? You guys both shoot 1 shot. He shoots 1 PK, you shoot 1 Mozam. Even if you were to hit him with the Mozam, you still would have lost, right? If all the bullets connect, you still probably would lose that, which goes back to that idea of weapon selection. It's like very, very niche. So like I wouldn't worry about it too much, but just for like something to like it is something to think about.
Yeah.
Over here. Okay, I remember watching this. This was actually so close. And it's like, oh yeah, like both of you guys are just like wide swinging and chowing, which I don't think is necessarily bad. This is narrow defeat. But what I want to tell you is like knowing when to stop peeking. Okay, so I guess what I can write is like, okay, I'll explain it first, actually. That way I can sort of like clear out my thoughts a little bit better. So like as you're swinging out here and challenging him, you don't necessarily need to like always stay in and fight and chow, right? Like just because I come out of cover, it doesn't mean I just need to keep on shooting until my mag is empty or whatever. And I would say that like most pros actually don't do this unless they realize they're like doing very well and hitting a lot of their shots. A lot of times you kind of want to think about like damage trade-offs and like how much you're doing in a moment versus like how much damage the enemy is doing. And if you think you're winning that damage trade-off and if you are hitting your shots, stay in chow. But as I watch this, right, I can go here. So you peek, right? All of this is good right now, right? Because you're peeking and you're instantly hitting your shots. I'll play this at a slower speed, so it's easier to understand. I know the texture is like a little grainy right now, but
Yeah, it's okay.
right, you're shooting, you crack them, and this is good, right? One good rule of thumb that applies to arenas or BR, and it's a good rule of thumb in just challenge in general, is you want to think to yourself, who cracks who first? And that I will write down. I'll say when challenge, I'll put who cracks who first. And then in this instance, since you crack him first, you have the damage advantage. I would continue to chow him for now.
Yeah.
For now, right? Assuming you still hit the same amount of shots, you are on track of like winning this fight. The problem is that I don't know when it happens, like maybe it happens in the next couple of shots, but there's a moment where you're missing your shots for maybe like 2 seconds, 1.5 seconds. And it's like, once you start like missing like 3 shots, you're kind of like out of the rhythm. And that's when you would sort of want to like disengage, when you feel like your aim isn't being as good as, say, like your baseline aim, which might be like, okay, like right now I'm doing a lot of damage, this is good. But as soon as I start missing and my aim starts to feel a little weird, that's when I want to stop chowing and go back into cover so I can reset and then re-chow him in the same position that I am now. So, but you cracked him first, that's good. And I think you staying to chow in this moment right now is appropriate and is the right thing to do. So we shoot. Okay, right? So I think we just shot 3 times, missed 4, right? And once like around here, once we've like shot 3-4 times, we've missed and we're taking damage, this would sort of be the indicator to be like, okay, I don't want to stay in chow this anymore because now my aim just feels like a little off. And then, we're starting to take like a little bit more damage here and whatnot. So like this would be your indicator of like, okay, I'm starting to miss shots and I'm taking damage. Let me get out of this situation. And I know it is difficult because all of this is happening very quickly. That's why I'm saying like the indicator that you can use is just your accuracy, right? It's like, okay, like am I hitting my shots or am I missing 1, 2, 3, 4 shots? Right, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, and then now we're starting to hit him again. But since we missed, those like 6, 7 shots, right? Now look at the lead, right? Like we have maybe like 5 health, they have about 50, and they were able to now come back and win that. Which is why I was saying it's like, okay, you had a really good start, and it made sense that you continued to chow. But once you started missing 2 shots, 3 shots, and he was dealing damage to you, that is your indicator to go back into cover and just reset, right? Like you can like re-peek again, but just, it's like a little mental reset, like a little aim reset. If this was BR and you had heals, you could decide to pop a battery, right? And then heal and then, reset the fight and then go at it again. But instead, right, we chow, and it is really close, but I think we could have won it as long as we would have went back into cover and then rechowed again. And so I'll play this at a fuller speed. Shoot. That's good. We're missing. Go back into cover. Go back into cover. And then, right, it does happen very quickly, but the one, like, the phase of missing a couple of shots, like right over there, and then now we start hitting damage again. I mean, once again, it is super duper close. But like these things would still also apply to BR, and it's a good way of like getting like a sensor feeling of yourself. What in the Lopa bracelet? This is crazy. This is crazy. This is crazy.
Say, in the my mindset, just I remember this.
Yeah, talk to me.
Was I'm just gonna go and fight. I didn't really care. It was like first session. I'm just gonna go and fight. I mean, this is stupid, but I don't know why I did this. But yeah,
okay,
it was kind of that mindset where but there was no, and there should be really. Obviously, there should be, but there was no strategy other than I'm just gonna push them and put them under pressure.
Yeah. Okay. And I do like that strategy. I think there's just like a more effective ways to go about it. Okay. So, and the reason why so this I've never seen, right? Like, I don't know if you win this, I don't know if you lose it, I don't know how it goes, but like, as I see you throw the Loba Q, that like the things that's happening in my mind is 2 things, right? Two like negative things. The first one, okay, the first one being you're like, I think you're queuing into the open, right? So like you won't be in any cover. And the problem with this is if you're in a shitty situation, sort of like that very first one where you had the PK and like you ran in a straight line, and I was just like, oh, you're crossing all of this open land. Like if you get in trouble, you don't have an escape, and you're forced to stay in that like shitty situation, which is bad, right? It like really limits our options, and then like maybe we go down for it. So we're in the open, which is bad. And then the second thing that's coming to my mind is that we're in like a Loba animation. So like after we take our cue, like maybe like Loba can't shoot for like 1 second, 2 seconds. And then if the enemy looks at us, right, like we won't have our gun out. We're stuck in an animation, and they're able to just mow us down with a Spitfire or a Mozam. And then, and then they're just going to have the advantage on us. And then that might give them a reason to commit, because now they have like a 50 health advantage, 70 health advantage, whatever it might be. A better way of committing to this would like maybe be, let's see, we start off. If you wanted to like apply pressure and commit, like if I'm thinking like committing is just all about like closing distance. So maybe if the enemy is on this opposite rock, right, like I can think about going from here to here, and then from here to here to commit and like close distance safely. You could also just like, I guess, run in a straight line, like how you did with the PK, but at least this is like a little bit more cautious, a little bit more methodical, like the way of thinking. But at least like as you're crossing either like from here and like sliding towards him in a straight line, or if you go from here to here, like you still can have your weapon out, and you could still shoot him and challenge him if he were to say PQ. Whereas if you Q, right, like you're stuck in the animation, and he would get that advantage there. What I would like you to do in a more like step-by-step thing, I kind of just like doing this stuff in general. It's like I usually like climbing on top of things and then sliding off of them for momentum. So if I wanted to slide towards him, I could slide off of him. I could slide off of this, and I could just go faster, right? So like if I move faster, I have more momentum. It's harder for them to hit me, and it's like pretty easy to do. You just climb up and you slide off. It's simple. It's like a good mix up. But like what a lot of people don't do is, right, like they don't like climb up and then like slide off to the side, which is something that you could definitely do. So like, oh, I could climb up here, slide off to the side, and then I'd slide and then like sort of like make my way over to this like that circle instead, right? So I'm climbing up and I'm just sliding in this direction towards here.
Yeah.
And then as I'm sliding, I'm like looking towards the enemy and I'm like ADSing. And then that way it's like, oh, if I chow him, right? Like I'll be moving faster while looking in his direction. And hopefully, like you'll just like catch him off guard. That's like me giving you like a very like step-by-step kind of thing. By all means, you don't need to do it, but I'm just like saying it to give you ideas of like, oh, like, like this is what you could do in a more like step-by-step laid out plan.
Yeah.
Okay, right. We're out here. Oh my God. I'm praying for you. Okay. We're also like notice the way that we're strafing. We're strafing away from our cover again, which was this rock, and then now we're in this open area. Okay. Yep. Slide up. Chow. Okay. Whenever there's like you and like an enemy on the opposite side, I for some reason like this is something that I do is I just always love climbing on top of like the piece of cover that's in between, and my reasoning behind that is that I will now have high ground on top of the enemy, which is the main advantage of climbing on top of it. And then as well as like, you don't have to worry about doing like this ring around the rosy thing, right? Like, oh, like maybe as I'm going this way, the enemy is going the other way. And then it's like, oh my God, like, where's he going? The enemy turns around, you turn around. And then it just feels like awkward. And like the momentum is kind of killed on like a mental level. It's like really weird. But it definitely is a thing. You're like, where the hell is this guy? Like, is he even still along this rock? So not only does climbing up like help resolve that, but I'd say climbing up also just gives you that main advantage of high ground. It's not like a damage advantage, but it's a positional advantage. If we can get any type of advantage over the enemy, that is ideally what I would want to have. So. So close. Okay. This, I would say, I mean, it's still close. I would actually say you hit a good amount of shots. The flaw in this, well, I wouldn't even really say flaw because they're still very close. But I like when I watch this, I think to myself, like, you probably don't need to be aiming down sights for like the entire time. And so I guess the problem is not utilizing hip fire as much as you can. And that might be due to the reason because you just might think like hip firing is bad. So I will write utilize hip firing. So I'll put for LMGs / ARs. I will also write down like another note of just like when there's cover between you and an enemy, climb it for high ground advantage. Okay. Let me find an example for you right here. Have you ever like do you watch any Apex streamers? Or no, you like be completely honest. I will take that as a no.
Well, no, I used to watch a lot. I still watch. I still watch some YouTube videos here and there, but yeah, I've watched plenty of Twitch streamers in the time.
Okay, have you ever seen people like ADS spam? Like it looks like they're ADSing, hip firing, ADSing, hip firing.
Yeah.
That is basically what I'm telling you to do and to essentially implement. So let me pull this clip up my other monitor. Okay, I have this over here. Let me come over here. All right. So this was last year. This is so long ago. This is DZ0, who at the time was like, like best IGL MNK player. I mean, he's still really good, right? He's on Falcons. Like this is even clipped by me, titled ADS spam. And so in this instance, he has a Havoc. Havoc was really good at the time. That was the meta weapon. But on another note, it's like, I just want you to think that, okay, hey, it's what is a Havoc? A Havoc is an AR. And so once again, you think about strengths and weaknesses of an AR. It's good, mid to long range, but maybe your weakness is your strafe speed. Strafe speed. Because when you're ADSing, you're moving a lot slower. Not you know, like I'm kind of gassing it for exaggeration points. But it is true, right? Like when you ADS with the AR or an LMG, your strafe speed is a lot slower than if you were ADSing with the submachine gun or pistol, right? Those just naturally make you strafe faster. And if you have a faster strafe, it's harder for the enemies to hit you, which then means that you take less damage. And that's a good thing because we want to take as little damage while outputting as much damage as possible. So think about, okay, here is the strength of our weapon, but here is the weakness of our weapon. So now, just like the Peacekeeper, we need to think about how can we remove this disadvantage of having a slow strafe speed. And this is why people sort of like came up with and started implementing like the ADS spam. That way they can still maintain a very fast strafe speed while being a little bit more accurate than just hip firing. And I know even for me at a time, and like whether I played like Apex or like even other games, that I was like, oh my God, like hip firing is just like so bad. Like you can't use it. You shouldn't use it. But now I would say like, especially with Apex and its current state, like so many people do ideally like hip fire as well as ADS spam. And I think in the clip that we have right here, you definitely could have ADS spammed here. So look at this distance and kind of just get an idea of like how close this person is to you, right? Like this is how big their character is, relatively close. So I'll come over here and then I guess I'll sort of like play this clip out. So they're like doing TDMs. They're out here. And granted, that happens very quickly. He's probably I would assume he's getting shot at by 3 people. It's like kind of hard to tell because these guys are in smoke and I really can't tell. But notice that at least this distance, what is like longer than the distance that you're at. And he's able to like not take a lot of damage as well. So, right here, he pulls up to the fight. He sees the enemy's like pretty far, like kind of like mid-range, you know, like I'd say if he was like really, really far back, like maybe like posted up on top of the building, he would obviously ADS for that. But like a mid-ish, shortish range, it's like he can hip fire it. And so let's see. He's able to do like 64 damage to him. And this person is able to do maybe about like 30, 35 damage to him. Yeah. So, right, like by doing this, he's able to output more damage while minimizing the amount of damage that he's taking. And thus, he's able to kill E8 Zap, who is like a very good mechanical controller player. I don't know if you follow up with Comp now, but like I like personally know this dude and I've 1v1 him a ton. He's a great guy. He's played for like TSM when Hal left. And then now I think he's on like Shopify Rebellions with like Koifel and Zainu, who are all like very good, like probably like some of the best mechanical like players in the game. And the reason why I say this is because I don't want you to be like, oh man, like this is just like some random dude. I say this to emphasize the point of like, oh, if it works against like some of the best players that can aim, then it can work against, you know, like so many other people. Yeah. Which is why I've like the point of me bringing it up. So
can I ask a question about that?
Yeah.
So when you say it minimized the damage he took, because he was strafing, I didn't notice he was strafing, but maybe he was.
Yeah, just like it helps him strafe like a little bit faster than if he were just like ADS'd and locked in like a lot slower. Yeah. It's not like, oh my God, all of a sudden he's gonna be like double the speed, like Octane stimmed. But the reason why he does that is so he can maintain a fast strafe speed, right? And like even if you think about it as well, it's like you could also just think to yourself, why did he even ADS spam, right? It's not like that it makes him more accurate, because if he wanted accuracy, he would have stayed ADS'd the whole time because that would make it more accurate. But the trade-off is that now he moves a lot slower. It makes him an easy target to hit, especially against pros. And so he wants to mitigate that. and the trade-off is in his favor when he's able to hit fire or ADS spam and maintain like a higher accuracy without sacrificing his strafe speed.
Okay, yeah.
Yep. Okay. All right. So like similar scenario here. What you could do is you could ADS spam. There's really no like secret technique to it. It really is just as simple as just like ADSing, un-ADSing, ADSing, un-ADSing. And it feels like really weird at first because I remember when I first tried doing it. But it is something like that will like slowly develop over time. It doesn't take like super duper long, at least not for me. And I'm just like one like case study out of who knows how many people that have tried to implement it. But it is definitely possible. And I don't think like it's super duper like hard to implement. It's like a little awkward at first, but in return, like that will then become second nature to you. Like you could think to yourself, if I can hip fire him, I can ADS spam him. And I think by doing so, that would definitely help out with this engagement. And I know it looks like both of you guys, based off of his strafe speed too, it's like he's also like moving like pretty slowly. And so I think by doing the ADS spam, you would have like a slight advantage over him, and then thus you would be able to defeat him.
I cannot buy it.
Yeah.
Cannot buy it. Cannot buy it.
Okay.
Okay, what do we have? Okay, so once again, right, like as I'm watching this, I'm thinking about what weapons do I have? I have like sort of like a pump weapon, and I kind of have like a semi-automatic weapon. So if I have a pump, I'm looking to jiggle peek. If I have a P20, I'm looking at like sort of like wide swing him and just like output a lot of damage. You can also think on another level, what what weapon am I using, and like what is its ideal range? And so for this instance, like, and this is very specific to arenas because you know what weapons the enemies have because it's the same as yours. Okay, so for arenas, if I'm pulling up with the Mastiff, I want to like go close. But say, for instance, if I know I'm using the P20, I know that the enemy also has a Mastiff. So, and a Mastiff is a shotgun, and a shotgun is really good at close range. So if I have a P20, maybe what I would want to do instead is rather than like walking up closer to him, like I could just like walk like backwards and create a farther distance between you and the enemy that is using a shotgun, which is a close range weapon. So once again, this is the idea of like, okay, I'm exploiting the enemy's weapon's weakness, which would be like long range, right? Like, oh, you don't see people sniping with the Mastiff. And that's for, you know, good reason. So these are just like other things to think about. So like, I'll say utilizing weapons to their best range, and then I'll also put strafing in a way that makes the enemy's weapon worse. Okay, huge. What the hell? Okay, I do. All right. I know this guy kind of just like flies in the open again, but notice that like you're gonna shoot him, and then you're gonna stay in this open field. What you should look to do is like after you shoot him, like go to a piece of cover. And I guess in this quick instance, like I think I would just go to the right because I think it's the easiest to like go to. You'd have a close range on him and whatnot. I know he just flies out there in the open. But I bring this up because once again, you're fighting in the open, which I think is like kind of the common theme in this arenas. As well as like, oh, if you're in the open, you can't jiggle peek with your pump weapon, which is what we want to do because we want to get rid of our weapon's weakness. Okay, and then he just flies off there. Okay, we're getting shot at, we're taking damage, and we're looking to chow. This is kind of like another rule, and I'll put I'll say if we get shot first in the side or the back, prio getting to cover first, and healing. I know you can't heal, but healing, if it were like BR. But regardless, even if you're getting shot at now, I still would prio you getting to cover first to like reset a little bit and minimize the amount of damage that you're taking. Because if I'm the enemy here, right, like by all means, he could still continuously shoot at you because he was already lined up on you. He was already able to do about like 73 damage to you. And now, like, if both of you were to continue challenging, realistically, he should win that because he's at full 200. You're about at like 130. And it would make sense for him statistically to win, to continue that chal. Yeah, right. So we get shot at. We're aiming down here, and us aiming down here, and him already shooting us should be the indicator of being like, okay, I don't want to take this fight. I should get out of it. Granted, like he's not really shooting us from like the side or the back, but still, just the idea of he's shooting at me, I'm not shooting at him. I don't like this. Ideally, if I can, I want to avoid that situation.
Oh yeah.
I think even with like this little peak over here, I would utilize this head glitch a lot more rather than like coming up out of this cover and shooting him. I would sort of like stay where you are here, right? You could shoot, you could like instantly crouch back down and go back into cover. But I think the reason why people like sort of like come out here and whatnot is because I think it makes it easier for you to shoot the enemy. It's sort of like a more comfortable angle, you know, like you can see the enemy like better and you're like, oh, like this is like a easier shot for me. And that is true. It definitely is an easier shot for you, but it is also an easier shot for the enemy. So it goes like hand in hand, and thus, you know, like that punishes you. Whereas I think if you were to stay here and in this position you're at, if the enemy were like, oh, like let me take this comfortable angle and like stand out wide in the open so I can see a whole lot, and then right, like his whole body is going to be exposed. And then you have this head glitch that you're playing right here. He can only shoot your head. You can shoot his entire body. And then that might be the difference maker in for you to help output more damage than you're taking. And that could be sort of like your win condition, right? Like, okay, I'm preying on him to make that mistake. And that's what I'm going to do. And it honestly, it might make sense for him to actually just like push you in a straight line because he knows he has that damage advantage, right? Like he did his poking, now he can commit, and he like I might expect him to close distance. But if he's up here and I know that like he wants to close distance, I might just hold down this lane. So as he's pushing me and running at me, like this is where I can punish him. And I'm like trying to seize this opportunity.
Just a quick question on that.
Yeah.
If you were the enemy.
Enemy, yeah.
At this point with full health, full shield, me nearly lost my shield. Would you push me at this point? Would you just because you've done that damage? Would you?
Probably. I would definitely. Yeah, probably. Right. Like, and I guess it's like a little bit different for arenas too because there's no healing. It's like if there's no healing, I mean, I guess realistically, like, and depending how cautious like I'm trying to play, it's like I could just continue to like poke you to death because I already won like 1 damage straight off and I know you can't heal. But say if this is Battle Royale and I don't know how many heals you have, but I like 9 times out of 10, like people do have heals, whether or not they're batteries or cells or whatever it is, people will be healing. So in this moment, right, like you should be healing rather than challing, and me knowing that you need to heal, right? I want to capitalize on this health advantage before you say like pop a battery and then reset and then now you're full health again, right? And then my advantage is gone. So if this were Battle Royale, you would definitely be getting pushed now in this 1v1 scenario. But because this is arenas and I know you can't heal, like I could push you and still have a high probability of winning, or I could like poke you again as well and still like maybe have like an equal chance of winning as well. So for arenas, it really can go both ways. For me, like, I don't know, like me personally, I'd probably just run at you because that's just like ingrained into my like head of like, oh, I have the advantage, and I'm applying things that I could do in BR into arenas as well. So, and they're like both important. So, okay. All right, we walk out of the cover, don't utilize the head glitch, and now like our full body is exposed. But I will say it is an easier shot for you to take. Even this is like, I don't know, like if you walk back up, but like as the more you walk back, like the scarier it gets, because the last thing you want to do is have that enemy like run up from where he is and then take like your piece of cover and your high ground. Because if the enemy comes up here now he has high ground on you and you're in the open, and then you more likely than not would die here. Yeah. Which is like my one concern. Okay, all right, yeah, good. You do come back here, which is good.
I come back, I can't see you.
I know. Okay, this is like a gamble right now, and so okay, well, first what I'll write down for the other one is I'll be like, please utilize head glitches. I know it feels easier to not use them, but it hurts you. And then for this one, I will say when you're deciding, oh, is he peeking me on this side? Is he peeking me on this side? Ideally, what I would want you to do is I would want you to play closer to a piece of cover. Like, okay, so if I'm aiming here, I essentially would want to stay where I am. The reason why is that I am not exposed to this angle. So if the enemy were to peek me, I know exactly where he's going to be. And I'm not sort of running like a probability sort of risk thing, right? Say if I wanted to chow him on the left hand side, maybe rather than me like let me see, rather than me walking out here like you do and looking in this direction, because when I look here, I'm also exposed to the right side as well, right? And then it's like a 50-50, and you're kind of doing like a like a coin flip. Which side is he gonna peek? And like you really like don't know which side he's gonna go to. So instead, what you could look to do is if you wanted to peek like this yellow side, right? I would just go here, post up here, and then that way, right? Like, okay, I'm clearing this side, but the right side doesn't have any LOS on me. So it's like the angle that I'm looking at, I'm sort of like, I'm making sure that that is my threat and that I'm not exposing myself to multiple angles of points that I can get shot at, right? Because as you come up here, it's like, yeah, you can get shot here, but like as you're pre-aiming here, what happens if the enemy were to peek you on the right side now, right? Then you sort of get shot in the side, and like there's not a lot you could do. And it is like kind of like more likely than not like a probability kind of thing, right? You're like, oh, is he coming this side now? Is he coming this side? And you really don't know. Oh my God, huge. But it was still risky. So I'll say, try to minimize the angles that you can get shot from. That was a good headshot. I like fighting with ballistic, like against a ballistic Q is so annoying, and it's like very like difficult to do, right? Especially if like, oh, because he's close to you, like you probably do just need to like straight up chow this. But I'd say like, oh, maybe if he's really far from you and like this is BR, that you could just shoot to get rid of the Q. And then you don't need to worry about it. But since this is like close range and whatnot, like I think this is fine. But what I will say is that you're gonna chow this guy. You're gonna shoot, and you're gonna reload in the open again. Shoot. Okay. You say no. Okay, good. You did realize it. You pulled up over to the side, and then he's able to sort of like jump over you. So I guess I think on like he closes distance. I would actually even say like, oh no, I clicked rewind. Okay, wait, hold on. Here's the Mirage one. Oh, okay, wait, that was the end of the game. No. Okay, yeah. Here it is. Shoot. As I would probably look to like strafe towards some piece of cover, right? Like once he's looking to commit on top of you, right? Like, oh, either you could like strafe to the left or strafe to the right. I think just like going to the right, it's like a little bit easier because you have more spaces you could back up to. But right, like that way you kind of have more control of the fight. And what that looks like is, okay, he jumps on you, and if you were to take control of this cover more, essentially you are deciding when you guys are fighting and when you guys aren't fighting. Because if you don't peek them, right, like no one can shoot each other. But you know when you're going to peek back out, and so you'll be more prepared, and maybe you'll catch him like sprinting towards you. If he's sprinting, right, like he needs to like retake out his gun or like whatever, or like just have the gun come out of the sprint animation. You could like peek him and catch him there. You could also like climb on top of the rock and then have a high ground advantage on top of him. So like there are like benefits of like going back into cover just naturally because you can control the tempo of the fight a little bit better. You know when you'll be peeking him. And you just have like that slightly little bit of an advantage. And that way it's like you also have more time to think and sort of like compose yourself as well.
Yeah.
Nope.
I do. Yeah. Nope. And then he comes over you and that's fine. So, okay.
Caught in the open so much.
I know. Okay. But I am glad that you were like really starting to realize it. So I guess what we could think to ourselves here. I mean, also doing this, like looking up here, definitely is like very dangerous to do because one, you're in the open, you're really close to the enemy, and like you're looking up here, and then the enemy like can shoot you in the side. I think a better alternative would be is like as like if you hear him throwing his drone up, rather than shooting it, because essentially you're turning your back to him, I would just throw your drone towards him as well. And then that way you guys both have the advantage of drone. And then if you guys both have the advantage, there is no disadvantage here. Say if you didn't have drone, like, you know, I could see a reason for you shooting it. But because you also have drone, if I'm in your shoes, I'm thinking I'll just throw my drone back to equalize it. All right. And now he's able to get the first shot off on us. And then remember the rule. If we get shot in the side, like ideally we want to look to get to cover as quickly as possible. Now that doesn't mean you can't shoot back at him. By all means, you can shoot back at him. But as you're doing so, I'm thinking about strafing to the left towards a piece of cover to sort of like reset and like assess the situation, right? Like, do I have time to heal? Do I have time to throw out my drone? Do I have time to like climb on top of the rock and like look at him? Can I catch him just running at me? You know, like, oh, if he's going to like run at me, and then if I have like a peacekeeper, maybe I can jiggle peek him off of the rock. So you just have like more time to think and whatnot. But once again, right, like we get caught off by like looking to the side. He's able to get like the first shots off on us. And then that's sort of like the disadvantage we have here.
Okay.
You do hip fire, which is good, right? Like I think that is a good range to hip fire at. So I do like that. And the thing is, it's that like you're hip firing with the weapon that is better that you could ADS with.
Right.
Not saying that hip firing is bad. By all means, I would still ADS spam. You know, like if you can hip fire, you can ADS spam. Like that's how you should think about it. And I would even ADS spam with SMGs too. But just, you know, like the idea of like, hey, if you know you can hip fire at this range with your SMG, you could definitely do it with ARs and your LMGs.
Okay.
Okay, right? That's we push him, we slide straight towards him, and then now before we even take the fight, we're at that 70 health disadvantage. Let me see. Hold on. Just want to see where he spawns. Okay. I think like as you slide out and like play aggressive, since you know where he is, I would just like as you're sliding out to close distance, just pre-aim in his direction. Because that way, at least if he's challenging you, you're still putting up a fight rather than letting him do damage to you for free. So I'll say if you want to close the distance on an enemy and play aggressive, pre-aim where you think they'll be, so they aren't able to just shoot you for free.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I don't know why that guy is horrified. He is running away. I mean, good energy, I must say. Okay, if I'm this enemy, right? What I would do, well, I probably wouldn't even like strafe out that far, but like he would shoot you. He would go back into cover, and once he goes back into cover, I would just instantly rechow you again. Which is good because remember how I was like, oh, like you want to play in cover because you determine when the fight happens and when the fight doesn't happen. So like boom, 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 boom. You take this fight. If I'm this enemy, like I just swap over to my P20 and then I instantly re-swing you because I know you're in the open. But the thing is, it's like right now, you don't know what the enemy is going to do. Is he going to reload his flatline? Is he going to swap to his P20? Is he going to chow you quickly? Is he going to chow you slowly? Is he going to chow from the left side? Is he going to chow from the right side? There's so many like different combinations and things that could happen that we just don't know what would happen. But he knows what he's going to do. And so that's why he kind of has like that advantage over us because he has cover, we don't. Similar, like this is sort of like the importance of like, please use it and the reasonings behind it, right? Like you always hear, oh yeah, like go play cover, go play high ground and whatnot. But to like actually ingrain it in the mind and see the details of why this is happening is like this. So
yeah,
we shoot. And right, like now we swap, we're sort of sliding, right? Like we have like our P20 out and right, like we don't know. He could swing here, he could swing here. It is just like very like nerve wracking and like on the way that he might chow.
Yeah, I mean it's brain dead in it. Like I think my mindset was like I say super aggressive, but there's no thought behind it apart from that, which is why I'm dying a lot.
Okay. Just like small little thing is that you just like took too long to like swap your weapon right here, right? Okay. Mag comes out. And yeah, that's like a very, very tiny detail that I don't think matters that much. But once again, you know, I want you to be as good as possible. And so it's like, this is downtime. We can cut it out by just like swapping over, like just like a little bit faster, right? Like trying to keep like a little mental note. You could even think about like usually what I like to do, whether or not it's like an automatic weapon or like a semi-automatic, like think about rather than swapping when your weapon ammo hits 0, think about swapping when your ammo counter hits like 1 bullet, right? Whether it be like a semi-automatic or fully automatic weapon, because that little like room for error, like you think about swapping at 1 bullet, but by thinking that you will actually swap at 0 bullets at a much faster speed. And 9 times out of 10, like 1 bullet isn't even going to be enough to say, kill this enemy, right? So like you could shoot, right? I have like 1 more shot. He's got like 50 health. I mean, like, yeah, like maybe you could kill him. But once again, right, like I could just think about swapping weapons now, and then I guarantee like the kill by swapping to like a fully loaded secondary weapon. Yeah. So yeah, just think about swapping weapons at 1 ammo rather than 0. And then by doing this, right, like, hey, you think about swapping it at 1, but like naturally, since you're in the fight and everything happens really quick, you will probably still end up swapping at 0 anyways, but just being a lot more efficient with it.
Yeah. Is it are these sort of fights good to review, or because there are some sort of team BR matches further on, but I don't know if it's better.
Yeah. Okay, I will definitely go. Okay, yeah. Let's do those. Because I definitely want to look at some BR games. That way you can kind of get like both of them. Oh my god, I only did that. I had no idea how many fights actually happen here in all of these little things. But I do think we did get like a good amount of like individual gameplay.
Absolutely.
Okay. All right. I will definitely do some BR games. I'll go to like more towards the end ish. Is there like do you have like a preference in like a game or something that like you want to see?
I didn't look at these, but they're all going to be.
Yeah. No. But by all means, that's completely fine. Here, I'll do like I don't know. I'm just gonna swap to any any game. Is this you playing solo or with the squad?
Yeah, this is with the squad, so we play often.
Okay. 3 stacked. All right, even better.
Yeah.
Perfect. That means I can be like a little bit harder on you guys.
Yeah.
But I am glad that you play with the squad. That playing with people makes it like a lot more enjoyable and fun.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's harder, definitely harder for us, but when we stack, but yeah.
First thing I'm looking for is when you guys drop, if you're gonna free look. Free look. Who's coming with us? Okay, you're like kind of free looking because you're like looking to the right a little bit.
Yeah, normally I'm jump master.
Okay.
I'm surprised.
Even if you are jump master, you should still free look too, right? Like, you know, you go in your straight line. The only time that you wouldn't like free look is if you really needed to put all of your focus and attention on like having like an optimal drop because your drop point is like so far, right? Like if you needed to like dip and dive, like I think that's fine. But if you are just like falling in a spot where, you know, you're being contested at, or like you just fly in a straight line, like even as jump master, I would still free look. Just because you want to get info, right? Like, oh, who's coming with us? How many teams are coming here? That's why we free look, because that information influences the way that we play the game before our feet even touch the ground. Because like if there's no one here, you guys can spread out, right? One person lands here. And you guys can loot faster. If there is one team contesting you, like where are they landing? Are they landing in the front side? Are they landing in the back side? And whichever one they land at, right? Like maybe you land on the opposite to like loot up or whatnot, right? Or like, oh, if these guys beat us, where are they landing? Are they landing in the backside? Because if they land in the backside and they have a better drop than us, then maybe we want to land on the outside and then loot in and then like fight them inside the ship. If there's 2 teams here, we realize, hey, I shouldn't take this fight. I shouldn't take the first fight. Because if I take the first fight, I'm just gonna get third partied, right? We fight them and then this team third parties us. And even if you don't decide to fight, right? Like this team might be like, yo, let's fight these dudes. Then, right, they fight you, you kill them, and then you get third partied. Right? And that's just shit you can't control. And maybe if there's like 3 teams, you're like, hey, you know, like fuck this. I don't want to land here at all. Like let me land here instead. So, you know, just like free looking, so many variables. And that's sort of like what you're looking out to do, right? Like how many squads are coming, because how many squads that are coming with us will influence how we land and play the game.
Do you want to get this? I'm gonna get that. You wanna go? I've got 2 shotguns.
You're also like running a lot with your weapon out right now. Just holster it. So I'll just say holster weapon when looting / rotating, and I'll say pull out weapon when you're clearing new areas or about to fight an enemy.
The bow, yeah.
I hope there's a team. I can't remember, but we seem to think there is.
Yeah. There's definitely a team.
This will be classic. Our team's gameplay. We'll lose this fight for sure. I can't remember it, but I'm pretty sure we'll lose it. When we
But I do like this setup. This is a really good setup, right? You guys are fighting, and like this isn't a building, but like let's just say it's a building because it's got floors and a roof. I really like this. You guys get control of the roof. That is like a very big thing. So I'll say, always look to get control of the power position. And then I guess in this instance, for buildings, it's usually the roof.
Yeah, the beside.
So now, what you guys need to do is now that you guys have the roof, and now that all of you guys can communicate with each other, you guys need to like, when you look to drop down and like fight and peek these guys, you guys kind of want to do it at the same time. And that's like the big thing. But well, like you guys might play like a little passive and like wait for the enemy to like slip up and make a mistake. But you guys could be like a little proactive in terms of like, oh, you guys could like peek an angle, and if it gets too bad, you guys can just like climb back up on top of the roof and then get covered by your friends. But I definitely do know, right? It's like a little weird. It's like a little like nerve wracking. Like, oh, like you don't want to drop and be the dude that like dies. I completely get it. But it
Go ahead.
Yeah. But I would say, right, like by all means, I think ideally in this situation, right, like you have one person drop down on one door, you have one person drop down on another door, and then if the enemies are in between, essentially what you guys can do is you can just like put them in a pinch, right? Or like since there's 3 people, you could have 2 people drop down on one door and one person drop down on another, and then you guys are able to pressure those guys on the inside.
We definitely don't do this enough, and we're just for players that have played for hundreds of hours between us. Like we're just putties. We're pussies. That's what we are.
I mean, like no one wants to die. No one wants to die first, right? Because then you kind of get blamed. You're like, like we don't want to play with this dude. No, I get it. Oh, yeah, trust me. I've been there. I know how it is, but it is still fun. And I think like even if you do mess up, to just like talk about it afterwards and be like, oh, like what went wrong? Like how could we have done better? You don't have to like get mad or whatever, but to at least like have an idea of what's going on. I can see you guys are waiting. He nades off a door. He's cracked, right? So like now like you could say, oh hey, like I cracked an enemy. We're all still pretty healthy. We have like a 25 health advantage. Like yeah, like if he was full health, that would be even better. Like, oh, like now, like maybe this could be your opening, right? Like, oh, we've poked, I've cracked him, we still all have shield. Like maybe now you can consider like looking to play a little bit more aggressive.
Might drop the back corner there.
And also, as like reference, say if this was our team that was in the middle, and I knew that you guys were also a very good team that had control of our roof, we would just never push you. Right? Like we would never come up and push you because we know how bad of an idea it is. So if you watch people play like tournaments and there's this scenario like this, like 9 times out of 10, the team at the bottom never pushes the team on the top, and then it just becomes like a stalemate. It's always this team on the top that needs to drop down on the team in the bottom because they would always have that advantage. And it's the same idea of like playing cover, right? Like you know when you're going to peek the enemy and commit onto them. These enemies inside here, they don't know when that's when that's gonna happen. And plus, you guys also have time to like set up to be like, all right, 3, 2, 1, drop down, and you know like pinch or whatever. So.
That's so true.
But I just say this as an idea of like, oh my god, how did he take so much damage here? Okay, it's fine.
Yeah, we take too much damage needlessly as well. Yeah.
Okay, so he pounces out. Your guy gets a kill. That's good.
No.
Okay, hold on. I think. Okay, once again, not utilizing cover. And that is what is punishing you here. So, what that looks like, shoot, right? This is good. You have a great position over him. Shooting. Right? Being conscious of like how much we've been shooting for. We're kind of getting close to the end of the mag. But as like, even if you're not conscious of this, as soon as you realize that you're reloading, just walk backwards and use this piece of cover to help you. Because look at how much damage you take from doing a long reload animation, because you'll see us pull our mag out of our weapon. That means like that the reload animation was too long. And then us like getting our first shot on the Muslim. So we're full health here. Reload. We start taking first, second shot, and then by then we have now taken like 60 damage, 70 damage for free, which could have been avoided, right? And now that we're like shooting him, he's already got his shot lined up on us. We're getting bullet flinched, right? So like maybe that will also like affect our aim and like have us aim upwards, and then that might cause us to go down.
No,
right? Yep, and then you go down, and then he shoots him in the side.
Coming to you, behind you now.
I like the comms. I like this. This is horrifying.
Behind you.
Oh my god!
Tell him he's dead.
Is he on his own?
Yeah, he's on his own over here.
There's a Bangalore in the door there.
Oh my
Oh, and then he dies to that. Okay, but yeah, right. I think right for you personally, you could have avoided going down here by simply just playing this cover, right? And we play it because we're vulnerable, right? That is the big thing. You can't output damage when you're reloading the weapon or swapping. Shooting. Okay, I see this reload animation, and now I'm just reacting. Go back into cover, right? Like walk backwards, crouch down, make yourself as difficult to hit as possible, and then once you're ready to shoot again, peek up, pry him. But before that, okay, I realize, okay, teammate took a lot of damage. I'm instantly shifting my attention now to to your rev, right? Like, where is he? How can I help him out? And how can I sort of like protect them, right? And I say that because as you look, you're looking right here. I mean, maybe your eyes are like looking up here and whatnot. But in reality, you should be looking more towards like over here.
Right, okay.
Like, where is he? Because he's the one that's going to be in the biggest threat possible, because enemies would most likely push him because of his health, right? You know, it's just like a natural thing. So your job here is to be like protect the president and make sure that he stays alive as long as he can. So what I would say is, okay, well, you guys do a good job of right, like getting control of the power position, roof. That's good. I'll also just say when you get the roof, play a little aggressive, but drop down on the enemies at the same time, right? I think at the same time is like the biggest thing. And then I'll put
That's huge. I don't know.
when your teammates are low HP, protect them. And then I'll also say I'll just write down utilize cover again. I know like we've talked about it a ton, but just to like reinforce it, utilize cover. We want to avoid taking damage when we aren't. Oh my gosh, so many typos. When we aren't able to output damage. Okay, huge. So he gets a knock, right? Your teammate gets a knock. I'm looking like, okay, how much did he lose? How much health did he lose? He didn't lose any. So now that I saw my rev pounce away, I want to turn back around and I want to like protect rev, which I think you do that. Yeah, you do that. Okay, good, right? And then it just comes to this instance, which actually, I think now that I'm watching this back, is what I didn't notice is shooting this guy. There's actually this dude here too, which honestly, if I didn't notice it at the first point, like I won't be too like critical about it. But I think in an ideal world, focusing and shooting this guy right here is more beneficial than shooting him, because this guy is a threat to your teammate and you don't want your teammate to die. And so by shooting him, that would force him to sort of like run away and like go into cover and essentially just get farther away from your teammate. And then this guy isn't as much of a threat to your teammate. So like the reason why you would shoot him is because you'd be protecting your teammate. I like, even then, like you probably didn't see him. I didn't even see him when I first watched it. So that's why I'm not like, oh, like look at this guy and shoot at him. But I think now that we're able to like watch it back, I think that would be an ideal scenario. And it's not like this guy kills him anyways, right? Like this dude is literally looting the box. And it's like look at him. He's grabbing the bat. He's still looting. And then your teammate's able to like try and help out. All right, let's go this next fight. Okay, you are free looking. Huge.
Can't believe no one's coming here. I can't believe it.
All right, no one's coming with you guys, so make sure you guys split up. He's doing a good job. So I hope he goes all the way over here, and I hope Gordon Boy goes all the way over here.
Gordon Boy never splits off. He never splits off.
Say, yo, go, Gordon, go, land right here. You land here, I'm landing here. Like, yeah, he never splits off. That's hilarious. He's probably chilling on the phone.
Yeah, he probably took the gun that I wanted as well.
Yeah, they're coming through now.
Your weapon selection is like a little weird of like a Hemlock Wingman. Okay, I say it's like a little weird, and I solely say this because of like Wingman. When I think about weapon loadouts, like most people, or at least when I say most people, I say like pros will always have one mid long range weapon, which in your case is your Hemlock, and then they would have one close range weapon, which I guess in this case would be your Wingman. And even when I've used the Wingman, it's like, it's hard to identify, like, is this like a mid-range weapon? Can it be a long-range weapon? Is it like a good close-range weapon? But like Hemlock Wingman, it seems like you might have like two mid-range-ish weapons.
Yeah, it's not a typical load. I think I just grabbed the guns and we just wanted to push.
Okay, yeah, it's fine.
I just took what I had, but yeah, I wouldn't run this no.
Okay, good.
Did he creep? Have they got to fight?
Typically, I've got a G7 or a 3030 and an SMG.
Okay, yeah, fire. Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
You probably could have scanned this beacon, right? That's on top of here. You know, you use your L1.
Yeah. Yeah, I think these boys are.
Holster your weapon. You know where they are.
Yeah.
Holster the weapon. Okay. If I see these guys in your position right here, what I would do is I would actually just run in a straight line, and then I would get the roof here. And then that way, like, you secure a power position, right? Like, you have high ground, you have roof, and then like you can like get closer and closer to them and whatnot. But my main thing is, okay, I see where they are, and you do want to fight them, so I'm gonna do that. But before you fight, you think about setting up, right? And that is just setting up on top of height, and then and then pushing them. So
this is a shit show, so this would be a good one to
I'll say set up before fights, take high ground, and then in parentheses I'll put holster your weapon so you can get to high ground faster.
What is that?
Like, we have no clue where they are now. Literally no clue.
And look, if you get high ground on top of here, you can see more of the entire POI, and then you can find them a little bit better.
They're in here somewhere.
Okay, you chill, you heal. Oh, that. Oh my gosh, that was horrifying with the Sheila just getting mowed down. Yeah, I think like on your end, there's really not like a lot you can do, right? Like your teammates kind of get like mowed down in the side, and then like by the time you peek out, like you're also getting Sheila at as well. But I think even just like to avoid putting yourself in this situation, right? Because there is like no escape, and you guys are like sort of just like out here in general. Is that like ideally, if you can, right, like set up on high ground. If you guys were on top of high ground, you'd have like a wider range of seeing where enemies are. You have a better power position. It's just like a little bit easier. On top of that, if you realize like, yo, this is like a pretty shitty situation, and like I'm taking damage, my teammates are getting shot at with the Sheila, like by all means, use your alter TP and TP back. Be like, yo, like let's go. And just making sure you utilize that TP, because that's why people run alter. So so I'll say utilize alter TP when you know the fight is lost. Right? Like right here in this instance, if you're like, yo, this feels uncomfortable, and it does feel uncomfortable. And the reason why it feels uncomfortable is because you're getting pinched. You got shot at from here. You know, your teammates are shooting at you from here. You guys are here. This is no one, like, even if I'm in your shoes, I'm like, yo, like, this is like, we're low-key kind of screwed. And this would be like your indicator of, okay, like, yo, take TP back and you guys get out of here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
So I'll say, even right now, like, or even if he gets knocked, right now you could be like, okay, like, yo, TP back.
Yeah.
Right, because he's kind of safe. He's behind this pipe now. Rather than your alter TPing back, she's like shooting. She's also like fighting someone that's probably at full health when she is at like maybe like 90 health or something. And so she's taking a fight at a disadvantage, which is bad. But yeah, just like when the fight is lost, alter TP out. If you realize you're in a bad position, alter TP out.
Okay.
Like pinched or like, you know, like I'd say it might be a little bit harder for you to realize like, oh, like this is a shit position. But like maybe if you get knocked first and you think like, oh man, like I haven't done a lot of damage to them, I don't think the fight is winnable, that's when you would alter TP out.
I remember that fight. It felt shitty.
Yeah. No, it does. And because there's like, oh, like we're just getting shot at from everywhere. There's a Sheila. Like you really don't have a lot of information. It's a combination of not taking high ground and getting information and like getting a good power position so you don't get stuck in those like bad situations, as well as not getting out of the situation by utilizing your teammates' abilities. I'll say alter TP when you know the fight is lost. I'll say so like when you're in a pinch, or when your teammate gets knocked first.
Again. God's sake, I've been sniped from miles away.
Okay, all right. Gonna snipe. Heals up.
Going for you.
Oh, why he's so far away? He's so okay. Right, he's fighting over here. This is where you and Alter are. I don't know if Alter has ult yet or not. Like maybe not. If she does have ult, she could throw it down in order to help out your teammate. But what is important to know is like I would just say that like, yo, you're alone, right? And to indicate that he's alone, because I think that would essentially hopefully make him play a little bit less cautious. Because now that he's in the fight, he might just be thinking like, yo, I need to focus my own gameplay and what's right in front of me so I don't die, right? I feel like a lot of people think like that. But he might not know how far both of you guys are and how long it's going to take for you guys to get there, right? He might think, oh, in 5 seconds, my teammates are going to get to me. When in reality, it might be 15, 20 seconds before you actually run up all the way up to the zip line, zip up, and then like go to him. So I would just be like, yo, you're alone. Like we are not with you. And that way he can either play a little bit more cautious, play a little bit slower, or think about getting out. And even now, right, he gets a knock, which might be good. But like if this is a good enemy team, the enemy team is just going to trade him out. They're going to knock him, and then they're going to raise the dude he knocked. And then the enemy teams are going to have the advantage, and then it'll be 3v2. Get to your teammate! Get to him! Oh.
Can you get two?
No!
Can you get three? This way.
Okay, oh my god, I even did the finisher on him. You guys are psychos. Okay, so I'll say, when you notice your teammates are fighting, and you're not doing anything, immediately rotate to them ASAP to help them with their fight.
Okay.
Straight ahead. So. Oh no, there's not someone sniping at me.
Okay, alright, he just got sniped, that's why.
Over this way, right?
Straight ahead of me. I'll ping it with the direction. Yeah, they're trying to shoot at me.
You pinged us?
It's a Mad Maggie. Yeah, no, it's in that direction. Think where I am.
I thought it came from over here as well.
She's in the building in now.
Alright, you're pulling up to a building. It's you and a teammate. Ideally, what I want to see is I want to see both of you and your teammate do one of two things. Either you get different angles, right? So like that means you come up and you get control of this door, and your alter goes up and she gets control of this door. And then that way you guys do a pinch on the inside. You could even think about like even getting like this other door, like if you really wanted to. I don't think that really like applies, especially because your teammate's already down. You don't want them to get finished. So like realistically, it might look like you come here and your alter comes here, and you guys kind of play off of each other and get the enemies in the pinch. Or both of you guys double stack up on one doorway and then just like push on through together to clean up whatever enemies are over here. What I'm looking for is that you guys can do it somewhat like in sync and not do things alone, right? Like I don't want to see you walk in, take the fight, leave, and then as you're leaving, right? Like as you're leaving, well, now your teammate is walking in. And then you guys are essentially taking like isolated fights, which is what you want to avoid. Okay, I guess this is kind of fine. What I'm looking for here is like, what weapon are you using? Are you using a Devo or are you using your Prowler? I guess like Devo is like kind of fine here. Prowler is also very good because it's a sub and it's a close range weapon. So now I'm thinking about like the way that you're going to play this. Because you have a Devo, because it's an LMG, it ramps up. I ideally would want you to like full chal it, which can be still dangerous enough, but like knowing that you have the Devo, like to not go back into cover and to continuously play to your weapon's advantage, which is the ramp up time. But if the enemy knows you have a Devo and knows you have a ramp up time, the beginning of it is your weakness. So he might instantly look to play cover. So just being mindful of that, right? Strengths and weaknesses of a weapon.
She's going right outside.
Okay. If you peek this, you know exactly where he is. He has no cover to play. Ideally, you should be pre-firing so you don't have that beginning ramp up. That would be like best case scenario. he's 1 HP anyways.
But no, I take your point.
Yeah, yeah.
Run in, I wasn't sure if they were trying to run round. I just pinged 2 lots of heavy.
I've got 100 heavy.
How often do you open up your minimap?
Well, wings, we've never got.
Why don't you tell us what to do?
Well, Ashley's gone over there.
Not very often. I would
Okay.
say.
So I'll make something like super duper easy for you. Always like whenever you get a new ring, like here, like now I know you guys are in zone. So like you don't need to worry about going to zone, but just having like a little objective of what to do. What am I gonna do? When am I gonna do it? Like, and it really is as simple as like, where can I rotate on this mini map that is gonna level up my Evo shield for free, or like where can I go that will just help benefit me and my team? So that looks like Evo harvesters. That could look like beacons. That could look like care packages. If you need to upgrade like a heavy weapon, like, oh, I have a Prowler and here's this heavy weapon module. Like let me go use it. Like any of these things that will help prepare you and get you more stacked for the next fight. And by all means, like the goal is to fight, right? Like, oh, I want to take as many fights as possible. And so do I, right? But sometimes like you could just aimlessly run around and you could just like never find anyone, right? And you're like, oh my God, like this is so boring. Like I'm going all around the map, and it's like this is awful. Like we're back where we started. And so to sort of avoid that, right, you always create these little like objectives or checkpoints. So I know, right, you don't open up your mini map here, but just based off of this mini map, I say, okay, we're already in zone, so let's go hit any kind of like thing that will help us. So literally, I would come here, like maybe I don't even know what the hell this is, right? Like if there's like an Evo catch here, right, we come here. If we come here, we scan the beacon, because scanning beacon also helps up level up our Evo shield as well, right? If there's like assault pills, right? Because we have Revenant, opening up assault pills will give you like plus 50 Evo. If you were like Lifeline or like a medic legend, you could open up supply pills and also get free Evo. Since you have a skirmisher, right? If this care package is coming down, you tell, yo, Tony, scan the care package. And then you guys get plus 50 Evo. And all of these things will just naturally give you more and more shield for free. So when you go into a fight, you guys will be a lot closer to purple than the enemies. So maybe you take one fight and then you guys are on like purple or like high blue, and then the enemies still might be on blue, and then you just have like a greater advantage, which is good, you know? Like why wouldn't you want to have more shield?
Yeah.
Come on, tell us what to do.
Okay.
No, I was actually running over there. But you were still in there.
I know, but just tell us what to do.
No, let me just come over here.
I think even now you guys are like, yo, just tell us what to do. Like where are we gonna go? Yeah.
Well done.
Okay, all right. So this wasn't an Evo cast. This was a respawn beacon. But right here, right, like this could be like, okay, like let's hit the Evo, and then let's scan the beacon, and then go from there.
Can't deny it.
Please.
I feel like with the new ranked mode, we're so
Yeah.
we feel
Talk
like
to
we
me.
have to get zone. Just because if you don't get zone, if you're too far away from zone, you're just running through. You fight. There's so many teams left. There's so many teams because obviously there's no drops where a lot of teams die early. So just to get to the circle is like a gauntlet, running the gauntlet almost.
Yeah, getting is especially with rotations, which is, I think that can be avoided as long as you guys are being proactive about your rotations, which I think is the thing that you guys aren't doing, because I'm like, oh, like, do you open up your mini map? Do you do X, Y, Z? Like, oh, like I really don't open it up, which makes sense on why it might feel like, oh my god, like we're always pressed for time. We always need to like do whatever. So like a good rule of thumb is, let's see, 4 rotations. Every time you get new info on the zone, determine where you want to play and how you're going to get there, and what's along the way. Are there like Evo harvesters? Are there supply pills? Like, is there anything that will benefit us? Is there like a care package where I can get a Kraber from or whatever? But yeah, just like, I think as long as you're proactive about that, that will definitely help like mitigate the risk of like having delayed rotations. I'll say this will help you guys rotate faster and not get delayed, and not get gate kept.
There's one.
I want to see this.
Come on, we've got to win this fight. Right in front of me.
Since these guys aren't even looking at you, you could like just try and wait and like 3-2-1 these guys. Right, like wait for your teammates to kind of like come up, and then that way you have all 3 of you guys shooting at them at the same time to at least like guarantee a knock or whatever.
I mean, it helps if I hit them.
I know, but it's okay too, right? Like you're also like using a Devo on a 4x, which is like not easy to do, like even for pro players. So like I wouldn't stress about it too much. Like it is a difficult thing to do. Once again, right? You're fighting out in the open, and you're also fighting at a weapon range disadvantage, right? You have like a close range weapon. This is like more like mid-ish, range-ish. I'm not saying that you can't do it, but like ideally you would want to be closer to utilize your weapons. even like your Devo, like Devo isn't really like a super long range weapon. It's pretty close, which makes sense why you weren't able to output a lot of damage here. It's not like a you thing. It's not like a, oh man, like I wish I just hit more shots. It is really just like what kind of weapon and like range am I utilizing it for?
Yeah.
Don't chow. Heal. Okay, good. Perfect.
I think I missed every shot with that devotion on every single shot.
Got my things over there. It was the wrong one.
Is there a side
That's it.
box?
The below me.
I think we lose this fight.
Hey, don't spoil it.
I know.
I know.
I'm surprised I
Got the whole
couldn't.
tiger on, I think.
Restocking complete.
You feel you're seeing on that scanner?
God, I cancelled it.
It's right next to us.
I thought I cancelled it. I can't actually see that.
Everyone's in front of us.
There's one right on us, behind us.
Oh yeah.
I always find my mark. 60 seconds to ring close.
Yeah.
What's good to do and like just for you to start getting in the mindset of is like when you get a new piece of information, for example, oh, there's someone underneath us. What are you guys now going to do? Are you going to run at him? Are you going to ignore him? That way, like everyone is on the same page. Because although it might seem very obvious to like chase this dude, maybe you have a bigger threat of like, oh, we really need to ignore him and go in his zone. Or maybe, oh, there's a team that's a bigger threat, or maybe we need to get this care package. In this instance, right, I think it's like pretty clear, like, okay, like let's go kill the rat. Let's all run at him. It's pretty free. But it is just very good to get in the mindset of like, okay, new piece of information. What are we going to do? And then that way everyone knows that, hey, we are pushing this dude, right? Rather than, oh, we're just going to like let him go. So.
The time of that is ultra so quick.
So I'll say new information, calm, what you guys want to do now. Right? Or like, oh, you scan a beacon and you see all the teams around you. Like, what do you guys want to do? Who do you want to fight? Where do you want to rotate to?
Walk up this thing.
And even if like you don't have a good answer, or like you don't have like, oh, I want to do this, to even just like bring it up and talk about it is definitely like good, right? Like to get people thinking.
Yeah, definitely. Okay.
Don't that tell it, will you? Because I can't get any bullets in my gun.
What do you need?
Energy. They're pushing up now. Other team's down here.
You have to around them.
Going behind us now.
Oh my god, you got the
What you could probably look to do is right. Okay, so I think your altar is the one that's going to take a lot of damage here.
This is classic. This is classic us fight. We just get pushed and lose.
Yeah, right. Like you guys are holding it down. Right, you're challenging here, and then you kind of get double swung here, which is good on the enemy's part, right? Like every time you die, and you're like, oh man, like what the hell, what happened? Like if you can't identify what you guys do wrong, you know, like try and think about like what is it that the enemies do right that's able to kill you guys. So like this guy chows. And I think if he would have continued challenging, you know, like it probably would have been fair, right? Like maybe you win, maybe he wins, and it's super close. But the fact that now he has a teammate and you're essentially getting double pushed, right? This guy's full HP, or I guess like almost full HP now, right? He can come in and swing in and essentially like kill you, right? And have a high probability of doing so just because of health versus health. But now like. Our goal is because of our altar took a lot of damage. I think it is like
Oh my god.
this is still like pretty good. Like you ADSing here and holding it down. But I don't think it buys enough time as if say you would have like thrown a nade here, right? Like instead. And then that way like what nades do is they deny places to play, right? Like I'll coach some people and they'll be like, oh, like I have a grenade and I'll throw it at an enemy because I want to deal damage to him. But what you should do with grenades is like think about grenades as a way to like deny or force people out of like specific places to play. So if we don't want this enemy to walk in and essentially kill our teammate, right? Like we wanna cut this off right here. So what I would do is I would pull out my arc star. You could use an ability, you could use your ultimate, but essentially what you're doing is you want to deny this spot right here so they cannot push in and capitalize off of your teammate. By you staying here and shooting here, by all means, it's not bad at all. And I think, there will be scenarios where you need to do this and where it will be a little bit better. But because you have the utility and the grenades to do something a little bit safer and denying that stuff, I drew this arrow here, but your ultimate is here. Doing that would be safer because you don't risk taking damage. And then you also really sort of like prevent the enemies from pushing through because you throw nades at this exact spot. The only like downside and problem with chowing is that, like, say you take this chow, but you lose the chow and the trade-off, and then now the enemies like push in again, right? Whereas like, if I'm able to throw 2 nades and then I throw my ability and then I throw my ultimate, like by that time, like everything will have been good. And my teammate will probably be full health by now, and these guys wouldn't be challenging this situation right here.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I only got deleted.
Yeah, right. Double swung. Where's also
They're all over this side.
happens. I want to see what you can do as like a down person too.
We're just gonna get sandwiched here. They're all over this side.
I like how you guys kept the Watson fences here. Oh my god, wait, this is their Watson fence.
No.
Because he walks through it and it turns
All
off.
over this side.
You see, it turns off right here. Oh my god. Which then gives them even more of a reason to swing in and push.
Yeah.
But notice, right? Like, look at the weapon the enemy's using. He's using a prowler. It's close range. It makes sense why he's able to like output a lot of damage in this close range scenario. Whereas you had a devo and you needed to rev up your weapon for the first like 1 to 2 seconds. And I think in these first 2 seconds, right? Like,
Oh my god, I only got
yeah, let's see. Right, we need to rev up. We probably like now our weapon's actually starting to rev up now, and now that we've shot like 7 shots, and we're at like 70 HP, right? And this guy still has like a little bit of shield. Granted, he has red, but maybe he has red because throughout the entire game, right, like as he was rotating, wow, I guess that really doesn't count because he gets red from like a care pack or like legendary pill, But if maybe you would have like a little bit more of an advantage if you guys were on purple, right? Just like the idea that like, okay, like he's on red, but I think his teammate is on purple, right? Like even if they were all 3 on purple, they still have that health advantage over you guys, right? This guy stops peeking, you still have 15 shots left in the Devo. And this is the best time for you. This is like the best time of the Devo because it's at maximum fire rate and maximum like DPS. But he's already back into cover. He played to your weapon's weakness. Then you guys were like able to like die off of it, right? Not because of like solely weapon, but just to like really emphasize the point of like an individual standpoint and really having like a mastery of weapons and kind of like understanding like what works best. I mean, maybe if you used your prowler too, you could have output like a little bit more damage. He still would have like that health advantage. And I still think the main thing here is to like block off and zone this off with nades, with your ability and with your ultimate. But even just on like a micro level, like because this stuff does also matter, right? Still 15 shots. These are the best shots, the best times to use the Devo, but he's already gone. We're 1 HP and we are forced to like go back into cover, which I think is correct in what you need to do.
Okay.
Yeah. He goes down. Whenever you're down, I would also just say like go over to your teammates and give them a little knockdown shield. That way they have at least some piece of cover to play and it helps them, right? Like, oh, your ulter's over here. But even now, like she's like you and her are probably more focused on not getting thirsted rather than helping your teammate that's alive. And I will say, if you are down and if you gave him 2 knockdown shields here, granted, he's still probably dead because, it's like a 1v3, but at least you're able to help him survive as long as possible. And if it was like a 1v1, right, and he has 2 knockdown shields and this guy doesn't, your teammate would have a higher probability of winning.
Overseas about to come and
Makes sense.
But I mean, even then, still third place, not bad. But like, you guys are in third place, right? Like it's a very late game, and all of you guys are still on blue, which
Yeah.
would also be an indicator for enemy teams to be like, yo, these guys are on blue. Like they probably took like no fights, and like we have an armor advantage, which might incentivize for them to swing you guys and push you. But even think about the way they pushed you, right? 2 people came from one door, someone came from another door. You're like, yo, like this feels really shitty. Like I think even you said it, like we're just getting like pinched here. And that is true. And that's why you guys die. And so next time the roles are reversed and say there are enemies inside here and you guys are the ones that are on the outside, this is what you would want to take and sort of like how to approach it. And even if it messes up and you guys die, whatever, review it. Like maybe you guys get out of sync, maybe you guys didn't peak at the same time, whatever it might be. But at least you know the general overall concept of the fight. So
Yeah.
even when you die, and in these really shitty fights where like it doesn't really feel too good, and if you can't really dissect what happens on your own, like dissect what did the enemies do right, and you will be able to like understand it a little bit better and use it to your advantage. So like every time you lose and you die, like there is always something to learn. Even if it's not from your own gameplay, you could think about what did the enemies do that was good that, you know, I didn't do, right? Good. All right. Awesome. So I do need to wrap up here because I have to like coach someone too as well in like 10 minutes. But
Sure.
what I will do now is I have a whole bunch of notes, right, that are like written over here. They're like not like super organized yet, and they're like very small right now. So what I'm gonna do is like I'll like clean them up. I'll add a lot more detail into them, and then I will like maybe I'll like order them and like, oh, like here's like most important, like really like please focus on this, to important to like least important. Granted, they're all important, and I would want you to implement all of them, but at least it gives you some sort of, you know, like guidance of like, oh my God, I have so many notes here. Like where do I even start? And it might just give you like a good starting point. Yeah. And then if you ever have like any questions about, you know, any of these notes, like send me a message. Yeah. You have my Discord. Just be like, yo, like, can you evaluate on this? Like, you know, what does this mean? Can you give me an example? And even if you have like any other like outside question, like by all means, let me know. But I guess before we wrap it up here, do you have any questions for me that we weren't able to go over that you want to know more about?
No, I don't think so. That was awesome. That was so good. Like just highlights stuff that you like, simple things that you don't think about.
No, definitely.
I really want to think of a question. I'm
No,
desperate.
look, you don't look. Just because you don't ask me a question now, it's not like I'm gonna disappear forever, right? Like you literally have my, oh my God, Streamception. You literally have my Discord. Like whenever it comes to you, like whether it comes to you later today, in a month, in a year, in a week, like whenever, like or like when you're playing with your friends, like by all means, like send me a message, and then as soon as I see it, I'll reply to it. So like, don't feel pressured
Cool.
to ask any questions now. Like you have my Discord, shoot me a message whenever, and I'll get back to you whenever I can.
Yeah, that's great. That's amazing. Thank you. I'm sure there will be. Okay. Yeah, thank you so much. Did you will you send me the VOD for this?
Yeah, I will. Can you send me your email? And then I'll like send it to you through like a Google Drive link, and then you can kind of just like download it from there, and you can save it on your computer and do whatever you want with it. So yeah, I will. I have it all recorded. It like kind of takes a while to like process and record. So just like don't expect it immediately, but I will send it to you today, and I'll let you know when I get it sent. I gotta send it from like my other email because that's what has space in my Google Drive. So like, who the heck is this? This isn't Pubski at Gmail. You know, it'll say like my name and like photography or like whatever. But okay, all right, I'll get that done. I'll get these notes cleaned up for you, and then I'll send them to you. And likewise, right? You have my Discord. Like, always shoot me a message whenever. And it was a pleasure working with you, brother.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, Pubski. Yeah. And I'll I'll probably have another
No, you're
conversation,
fine. You're fine. Like,
soon.
don't feel pressured. Work on all this stuff. Like,
Yeah.
but I guarantee you, like, by doing this, you will improve. And if you don't, like, shoot me a message. We'll talk about it. Like, and keep me updated with any progress you make. All right, brother. It was a pleasure.
Thank you.
And take care, man. Peace.
Yeah, you take it easy.